Well, you know, I started with the fight down in North Carolina when the machinists were battling a company, and they just wanted to shut them down. And the NAACP and myself, we stood beside them and just simply said to people, even in a so-called right-to-work state, you don't have the right to undermine these brothers and sisters and their union rights. Secondly, I look today, your theme is the same as tomorrow Monday, Forward Together.
All right, we didn't steal it. We're just
I know,
borrowing
but it's fine. I
it.
mean, but I'll just forward together, not one step back. But the fact that this union, as I understand it, is one of the most diverse executive councils in all of the union. You just elected the first Mexican American in Brother Martinez. That is a powerful statement, especially when you juxtapose that to a presidential race where some parade is talking about building walls. You all are building bridges. When other people are talking about exclusion, you're talking about inclusion. So this union has a lot to say to the world. And then lastly, the metaphor of a machine. You know, every machinist knows that if you mess up one part of the machine, it affects the whole. Same is true of the nation. Same is true of the society. You can dismiss, for instance, the clutch in a machine if you want to. It doesn't matter how many horsepower that machine has. It's not going to work. It's not going to run. Same is true with us. You can't dismiss the poor and dismiss the sick and dismiss the immigrant and then think that America somehow is going to be a great nation. We become a great nation the more in which we recognize the image of God in all people, the importance of all people, and that if we lift everybody, if we fix the machine, and that means making sure every part works properly and it has what it needs, then everybody is made better for that. And that's why I'm so glad to be here with you today. Well, first of all, we go run into these ballot boxes and start voting. I mean, civil rights and labor ought to put on the most massive get out to vote campaign. We're doing that in North Carolina and other places around the country. In fact, on September the 12th, we're having a gathering at state capitals, 25 of them, with the called Time for a Higher Ground, Moral Higher Ground Declaration, calling on people to declare we need a moral agenda. It's not, see, labor rights to me is not left or right. Living wages is not left or right. Healthcare is not left or right. Benefits is not left or right. Treating people right and not engaging in racism in your policy is not left or right. It's right or wrong. It's the right thing to do. So we must demand that. We must take our consciousness into the ballot box. We must mobilize like never before, because there are things happening now that are very contrary to the history and the legacy of both labor and civil rights. Somebody asked me that question one time. I said slavery was about labor rights. Even the Civil War, because many of the farmers, member of the poor whites were made to fight, but the planters' sons didn't fight. That's about labor. Who was on the higher echelon of society? Dr. King was right. Where labor, civil rights, working class black people, poor people, working class white people, Latinos, Asians, Native Americans come together, find a common identity, we make this democracy better.